Get in, nerds. We are playing Burden of Command. So, we've got a lot going on here. Um, you got an enemy unit over here. We got, I think, two enemy units withdrew from here and here. So they're probably over here somewhere. And we got a tiger tank. We got a tank of the tiger coming up over here. So, I think first things first, we're going to try Thompson. He's got 3 orders, and we got 1 squad here, 1 squad here, and 1 squad way over here. So, my goal... Or maybe I want to start with Rao. I think maybe I want to start with Rao, so that I can take this squad up to assault this unit, support with this unit. Yeah, I think that's actually what I want. So, we'll start with Rao. We'll attack here. They're surprised. Son of a whore! That's why you shouldn't stand out in the open, guy. And then... You know, I should have thought this through better. We can get here. Can I get there going this way? I can. It's gonna potentially expose me to fire from here. Let's see. It's risky. It's risky to do that. On the other hand, just this squad can get to here, maybe? They can't. Alright, Rao, give him a bolster.
Stay alert.
And now they can get to here. Let's go this way. Yeah, just the squad. And if we get annihilated by this tank, then that's a problem. Oh, nope. We're going to get annihilated by... Oh, okay. Alright. Cool. Neat. Well, we'll see if they halt. They have indeed halted. Okay. Alright, so that could have gone better. Let's move them into this... into cover. Oh, something from over here, huh? Damn. Well, that's a giant headache. And that goofs up Lieutenant Thompson. Oh, that really goofs up Lieutenant Thompson. Oh, that's real bad. Oh, that's terrible. That's just terrible. That completely ruins my assault plan over here. I notice my... my thing has gone away. My fire plan. Okay, so Rao had a little bit of a dud turn. But that is what it is. Someone's still running over here. Can I bring in some... Actually... What's my chance to actually do something here? Tiger tank shouldn't be in cover from this artillery piece. Chance to penetrate is quite low, and chance to hit is almost none. So maybe shelling this tank with artillery is not really the way to deal with them. It's only going to be Dearborn next turn. I'm just trying to figure out... I can see this unit. Let's shell them.
What's your flank?
Hey, get stomped, idiot. Nice. Have I daunted this tank? Maybe. Maybe the answer is I throw some smoke in the middle of here. And that might actually be the right call. Can these mortars shoot smoke? They... Did I goof this up? Why can't they shoot smoke? Maybe they've never been able to shoot smoke.
We're taking fire.
Let's smoke here. Actually, let's hold off. Let's hold off for now. Rao's turn is a bust, but I should just. I wish I could rally.
Take cover.
2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I'll shoot these guys again as long as this squad's active. Killed another one. Dang. And what about them? They can't see. Ugh, I'm kicking myself. We'll move him. We'll move Rao here to rally this squad next turn. So not the best turn start. Let me zoom out a bit so that I can see what's going on here, because I think I've been missing enemy troop movements. Oh, there's another tank back there. Well, would you look at that?
Lasst uns den Army zeigen. Keep firing.
Okay, that's interesting. I think I've run that squad out of shots. Who's got visibility to you from here?
Watch your
It's the
flank.
stupid tank. Now what are you? You're a Panzer III. I'm not as concerned about that than I am about this boy.
Watch your flank.
So let's go to Dearborn next. We'll throw some mortar fire here. That should mess up that squad at least a little bit. Again, I got some shock on that tank, so maybe we'll be able to do some damage. Let's go ahead and move this squad up and into here. Alright, so that's just an officer. That's interesting. Curious. I'm going to lose initiative if I shoot into him, but with this squad. But on the other hand, what if I bolster? It's better to rally. This is just an officer. I don't know if he's going to do a lot shooting back at me. What if we take him out? Because I might be able to take this guy out, and that would throw suppression all over this area. I'm going to do it.
Put Jerry on the ground.
Didn't take him out of action. Dang. I'm going to rally this squad.
Are you prepared?
And this machine gun shot twice. So I'm going to go crazy and make a mad dash up here.
Come on.
You going to shoot me, MG? No? Okay, again, this is probably a bad plan, but I'm doing my best. Alright, where are you? Ah, they're over there. Alright. That's fine. It's fine. Took a hit. Took some suppression. But can I take out this officer? I don't have the morale. Gosh darn it. Alright, well. Get up to here at least. I thought that tank was facing this way. Gosh darn it. Alright, so maybe I'll move Captain Murphy up there next turn. Not having a lot of luck here. Alright, that's Captain Dearborn's turn. I had some great luck last episode, so, you know, it is what it is. End the turn, we'll see what the enemy does. This tank should be out of rounds. If I get this squad out of the way...
Mickey Mouse is kaputt. Scheiße.
Alright, they're rallying. Mickey Mouse isn't kaput. Mickey Mouse has never been less kaput than he is now. I'm going to take command of this squad. Move up into here. Don't shoot me, bro. Alright, great. Bracka, 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 bracka. Damn it, indeed. So now, let's take a look at... I took command of them. You shouldn't be leading, I took command of them. God damn it. Okay, well, I guess, Thompson, you're just gonna... You can't go there. You're just gonna rally yourself. Okay, this wasn't supposed to be Thompson's turn.
We gotta get back in there.
But it'll be his turn next. Okay, this tank has shot 3 times. All right, why can I only move this way? What is going on with this tank, man? So if I bolster, why is my movement... Okay, here we go. Don't worry, I have a plan. And that plan is, we're going to try to hit this tiger in the rear. But before we do that, let's take a look at where this tank can see. Okay, so this tank can see all of this. So our target hex is here. Or we're going to hit them in the side. I might be about to get this mother-son killed. Can he see in front of there? No, I have a clear path. So as long as nothing weird happens, I should be able to do this no problem.
Keep firing. Keep moving.
Alright, terrible penetration chance, but we're shooting at the front from here. So let's head on up. Uh-oh. Well, armor support, it comes and it goes. Alright. Cool. Today is the day. Well, I guess I'm gonna put a little bit more fire on this tank then, because I don't really see a path to getting rid of it. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it on these guys, and maybe we'll be able to deal with this tank next turn, because this tank is really causing me a lot of grief. This tank is able to shoot 3 times in 1 turn, and I don't feel like that's supposed to be something that tanks should be able to have. Well, I guess it's Stern's turn. How many Rangers have we got? I got 2 Rangers left. It would be really helpful if I'd known... I think the answer might be, it's a mad dash. Oop, come on, bolster. Okay, honestly, I think I'm not going to be able to get up here, so I think the answer is just, like, we're taking casualties every turn. So, we're just going to mad dash this way. 10%. Ammo to the front, wounded to the rear, and it could be a whole lot worse once the Germans in Cisterna finish up. The Krauts really have it in for us, First Sergeant Grant says, as a pair of medics carry a wounded soldier past. Private Hatcher out of Oregon. Maybe he'll make it back. They've got position in the tanks to run us over. We can't link up with the Rangers like this, except a draw. Men major victory. Prestige -2, trust +5, or we've got to keep at it. See, I wish I could do this at any time. Because I'm not I wasn't thinking about whether or not I was like whether or not I withdraw kind of depends on some things. Like I've got the Rangers in hand and maybe they can get out and I'm not sure. But I also like I've got a set of objectives. I don't know what the objectives are and objectives change and like the mission objectives still say take all the terrain and I'm trying to do that, but I got these now 3 tanks coming up and I don't have any bazookas. Um so I want to stop bailing out on missions, but at the same time I'm doing well moving up. I've got the enemy in pretty bad positions. If I can just figure out how to take out these tanks, but I don't know if the Rangers get lost, I don't know what the objective becomes. Cuz I feel like this shouldn't be right. Cuz a draw shouldn't be like if I lose the Rangers, what does that make it? Does that make it a defeat? Does that make it a draw? Okay. But I think I can get the Rangers to that hex this turn, and that machine gun and those troops have already fired. So that machine gun's out of orders. Those troops are out of orders. So I think I can get the Rangers the fuck out of there this turn if I'm clever. But I don't know. I think the Rangers are probably toast if I don't. But I don't know if the Rangers are going to be toast either way. I wish I'd realized they were taking casualties every turn and there was only the one squad and I had kind of I was meant to be moving them and getting them out of the action because I wasted a lot of time earlier in the scenario doing that. Then again, I don't have any anti-tank weapons and you can't assault tanks. And there's 3 of them. The enemy's got 3 of them, and I don't really have any way to actually deal damage to them. So maybe the answer is I just bail. I wish the game would stop doing this because I keep getting these like, do you want to bail out? It's the it's only 8 turns into the scenario. So I don't have I feel like I'm supposed to have the entire scenario left, and I feel like I can make the rest of the distance. Like, I feel like I can get there, but I don't know if losing the Rangers is going to turn, if I'm just sacrificing men to turn a draw into a defeat. Or rather, to turn a, because I could take a draw here. I'm going to keep at it. Withdraw button enabled. Okay, alright. So let's see what these dorks... Let's see if these dorks can get there. If they can get there...
I see them!
And... Oop. No. Mission draw, men minor victory. Alright, we're at a minor victory now. Should move this tank here to get this objective. Is there anyone I can get there this turn? So this objective is good to go. So I should... So as soon as I end this turn, Boston is leading, so that should get the Rangers out. let's pass the leader turn, and maybe that'll sort him. Alright, he's still here. These guys should be able to shoot at this tank. Is their range lower than I thought? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It says failed weapon range, but they... Maybe if I take command of them? No. And not that ranking a Tiger tank with a 30 cal is anybody's idea of a good plan, but it is what it is. Can Captain Boston press them again? No, he cannot. I'm going to take command of this squad. Unfortunately, this isn't a good situation for mad dashes. But I can at least get them moving across this way. Back towards the action. And then maybe they'll have the ability to nab this objective next turn. Okay, so once this is cleared, the Rangers may withdraw. I got this one. I got this one. So I think this will get the Rangers out of there from a game mechanical perspective. God, I really hope I'm right about this. Why can't my machine guns do stuff? What's going on with these machine guns? Oh, that's my squad. Why can't my machine gun shoot his own guys? I guess I'll move them up just a little to cover this road. I know they got something in this road, but... you know, we'll do our best. Move this one up. And let's put Stern over here. You know, grandstanding wouldn't be a bad plan. That would rally this unit. I'm gonna try this. What? Hold on. You send up strongly fire and inspire your men with your courage if you survive. If you survive all friendly units within 3 hexes and L sight to you, rally, and if spent, gain an order including you. Of course, if you get shot down, it will take suppression instead. You must be in light cover, 1/3 or less shield icon, and visible to a known enemy. Inspired units do not need to be members of your organization and can be leaders. So I'm going to try this. I don't think any of the enemy units around here have the ability to shoot me. Weird, there's a target. Let's, so this should hit all these units. But let's target these ones. Yeah! This is probably really dumb. Let's do it. Alright, I got my rally. Except Lieutenant Rao didn't rally. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Again, I do not think there's any world in which I can snag this objective this turn. Maybe next turn, but I think the Rangers are well and truly toast. This is here, so I think that means the Rangers can get out. So I'm going to call it. And we'll let this be a battle. I've only got a minor victory for the men. Hold on. Oh, because the 10% breakpoint is supposed to be... I see. So that 10%, you always get that when you've taken 10% casualties. Okay, interesting. And you get the chance... Okay, so that's not like a programmed event when you do a certain thing. That's just your chance to get what you can get to keep your men major victory. Well, now I feel silly. But I think I've got the Rangers out, so I'm going to do this. I think this is... We got half our objectives. It could have been worse. Command will bitch and moan, but I don't really have any way to deal with these enemy tanks. See, I feel frustrated because I feel like I can win this battle. No, I'm going to keep going. What happens to the Rangers will happen. Maybe they'll get out between turns. All right. Yeah, I've only got Captain Boston. All right, so that should pull them out. Okay, all right. It didn't work. But it is what it is. So, what do I want to do first? Lieutenant Thompson really didn't get what I wanted him to get. So I think it's mad dash time.
Don't give him an inch.
So how do I do this?
Hit the dirt.
No available oh, right.
Keep moving.
Because this is one of Rao's squads. Alright, so we'll move Thompson here.
Hit the dirt.
And that did not help. Cool. This tank's already shot.
Don't give him an inch.
Alright, so first things first. I'm going to shell these fellas. And these fellas.
I think I got one.
Maybe that's not the right call.
Hit him hard. Move up.
I'm going to move this unit up. What are you screaming about?
Move up.
Okay, tank is cover.
MG!
God, cripes. Alright, that's going to make taking this objective much harder. But the good thing is, now I can shoot you with my mortars. I can't shoot them with my mortars because I can't see them. Well, they fired already, at least. Maybe I can get this unit up into here.
Go, go, go.
got a lot of suppression on these enemy units, but I just can't manage to get them all suppressed at once. The mission objectives are still the objectives. If I could just get this one. I've got these guys suppressed. I got these guys not suppressed, but they're close to being suppressed. What is visibility from this spot? It's just this whole area. Right here. Can I shoot them with my MG here? Have I got the range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nope. Not even close. Shouldn't have started with Thompson. But let me see if I can get this squad up into here. Oh, come on. Stop it. Ah, Christ. I forgot there was another tank over here. Fuck it. This objective's clear, so we're going to get the Rangers out. I'm taking it. The Rangers were rescued. Bitch. Alright, well, we'll see what else there is.
Thought that it would be a cakewalk. And we could trap the Germans. And we got aboard. We got into Anzio, the city, fairly easily. But the Germans sensed what we were doing, and they put a ring of steel, so to speak, of German divisions around that city of Anzio. Not the city itself, but on the mountains behind the city of Anzio. And as we moved in, we met this, what we called a ring of steel. We just found that they were tougher than we had anticipated. And we just got bogged down.
Alright. Bogged down. Evening. The shooting doesn't stop, but it does taper off. Mission draw. Rangers not... They were rescued. I got them. The winter sun still stands high in the sky. Rock 6. This is Candle 6. Alright. We're going to skip this, because this is just a bug. Even chance to get realism. A chance to get realism and experience. Yeah, we'll go with that third one. Your men begin to consolidate the new position. There are only enemies to your front now. The Krauts are hell on the defense, Morris tells Patterson as they both ply their spades. Could have been worse, though, Patterson replies. Morrison doesn't dispute the point, not even a little. The company hugs the earth, pounded intermittently by German artillery and harassed by their snipers until the sun goes down. The advance is over. Before the first sliver of moon appears, Major Rosslyn hops into the trench beside you, chased by the crack of a sniper's rifle. A little hot here, he says as he meets your gaze. Give me a report on the Rangers. If we couldn't get them, maybe tomorrow. We left a lot of men out there. Couldn't get to them. No one else could either, Captain, Major Rosslyn notes. A platoon from 3rd Recon punched through but got surrounded too. His features grow even more grave. Now tell me, because I have to know, what was our butcher's bill for today? At your gesture, Sergeant Grant produces a scruffy, mud-stained casualty list. The Germans weren't playing around. My first sergeant has the list, sir. It wasn't that bad. The Germans weren't playing around. They weren't, Major Austin says in full agreement as he examines the list of casualties, running a fingernail from the fallen to those listed as wounded. Some of those may just be scratches, but others might be million-dollar wounds. It's not complete. Add one more to that. Austin shifts your collar aside. A flash of pain erupts. When he pulls his finger back, there's blood in his fingers from a wound you didn't know you had. Captain, you will proceed to the field hospital immediately, the Major orders, because this fight isn't over, and if we don't attack, we'll have to defend. Captain, you show good initiative today, even if the situation played out poorly. I want you and your company on the line at sunrise. Now go get patched up. Did you just commissar me? No, I think he was just pointing out that I was wounded and hadn't noticed. This happens. Those of you who are familiar to civilian life will be like, how could you get shot and not realize? But like, adrenaline's a hell of a drug, and every person is chock full of it for situations like this, and it's really needed. Obviously I have not experienced it. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. Maybe if you've served, you can tell I haven't. I have not. I've never been in an armed force. Obviously, I have not experienced combat myself, but there are plenty of stories of people who've taken just incredible injuries and just, like, not even noticed. It's a real thing that happens. Alright, so he wasn't as pissed off as at me about this as Heinches might have been. But we'll see. The smell of blood is unmistakable, coppery and coarse. The cries of injured and dying rise from the tents, warding away the curious, but the field hospital is where you're headed nonetheless. Corporal Crosley lurches alongside you, his BAR slung over his left shoulder because he's still nursing a right shoulder pocked with shrapnel. The medics couldn't dig the pieces out safely. Hate these places, he mutters under his breath. A step back amid the sprawling grove of trees, the tents of the field hospital bleed light from the seams as doctors and nurses labor to save those they can. At the edge lie soldiers who stare at the starlit sky as if trying to slumber, cigarettes of morphine stuck into their shirt collars as they wait. A tent flap opens. You recognize the figure who steps through immediately, even with the surgical mask over her mouth. Captain, Lieutenant Rogers says as she steps forward. Not the most pleasant circumstances, but it's good to see you again. Is it? Directness +1. Has been a while. Directness -1. Better you than the guy from Wargraves. Sarcasm +1. Haven't seen you since Napoli. Sarcasm -1. I'm going to go with sarcasm maximum. Better you than the guy from Wargraves. She raises an eyebrow as she removes her mask. A palpable weariness surrounds her. Why are you here? You gesture toward the nick on your neck. As if on cue, the wound starts throbbing painfully. Roger steps forward and reflexively raises her mask back up as she examines the wound. The night air stings against the raw flesh. Lucky, she says at last. I'll stitch you up and send you back. What do you mean lucky? What about Crosley here and the others? Let her do her job. What about Crosley here and the others? His shoulder doesn't look too bad. I'll get him someone. But the rest of these men are subject to the brutalities of triage, she replies as she leads you through a flap and into the little tent where 2 other nurses attend to soldiers with minor wounds. If I tend you now, we won't have to pull you off the line later. Corporal Crosley crouches beside the tent flap, waiting for a medic to free up while other men die slowly in the open air. When one asks for water, Crosley readily offers his canteen. Lieutenant Rogers guides you to a chair tucked amid a nook of supply crates. She brushes aside a splotch of blood atop the wood and sets out the tools of the trade. The nurses on the far side of the tent are wholly engrossed with their own patients. It isn't long before one of them waves another soldier in. So that's interesting, because on the ridge a couple scenarios ago, I took a draw and Heinches was like, you buggered everything. But I took a draw this time and they're like, yeah, alright, that happens. It's curious. Word has it that we're staying here a while. Is that true? Lieutenant Rogers asks as she opens the canteen. Your wound stings anew when the cold water hits seething skin, but others clearly have it worse. The doctors are getting worn out. I'd like to know how much longer the offensive is going to keep going. Yeah? Verbosity -1. We won't be taking Cisterna. Verbosity +1. The Germans are here in force. Directness +1. We didn't take our objectives. Directness -1. I don't want to just sit here and say we're not going to take Cisterna, but we're definitely not going to take it this turn. We won't be taking Cisterna. So we lost this round, Lieutenant Rogers says as she opens a sulfa pack. When she dusts your wound with the preventative, you can hardly feel it. I don't think I like that. The fighting was intense. Thankfully, our losses were relatively light. Nothing to say. Thankfully, our losses were relatively light. It is all relative, she says. Now what? Well, outfox them yet. I'm for -10 combat fatigue, where I'm already fighting the next battle. Acquire professionalism, combat fatigue +10, realism +1. Combat fatigue in an increment of 10 and realism 1 is pretty good to get. I'm already fighting the next battle. Me too, she says. She reaches for a set of bright steel forceps. Let's hope you avoid a sucking chest wound. I'm not going to answer that. I also hope that I avoid a sucking chest wound. You think about the Rangers that you could have rescued. Okay. Anyway, I think maybe it's something to do with like maybe you got to take out the enemy units there. Maybe you gotta take all the objectives to get the Rangers out. I'm not sure, but anyway, it is what it is. Lieutenant Rogers uses one pair of forceps to grasp a curved needle and thread. The other she applies to your wound as she leans in. There's a flash of pain as she tugs on sundered flesh to begin suturing. Twinges of the same rise and fall until the needlework is done. Afterwards, she thrusts 8 sulfa tablets in your hand and then passes you the canteen. Swallow, drink, try not to get hit again. Lead poisoning might lead to complications. Someone shouts your name urgently from the surgery. She spares you a nod and then slips her mask back on and returns to her bloody grip. Alright, well, it could have been worse. It could have been better, but it could have been worse. Alright. We're well and truly in the Anzio beachhead now, my nerds. So you know, the last few battles haven't been great, but let me just quickly take a look at the Age of Men screen. Alright, so I got 10 replacements this time around. That is actually enough to cover all of my losses. So I'm feeling reasonably good about my ability to do that. And I've got the prestige to pay for all of them. To pay for all of them to be experienced. So, you know, I'm feeling overall pretty rock solid. I did my best. I could have secured a major victory for the men if I'd wanted to. But I guess it was a weird... I couldn't figure out how the objectives worked for the Rangers. Anyway, we'll deal with the Aid the Men screen next turn. But for now, that is all there is. I have had fun. I hope you've had fun, and I will see you on the other side.